awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of sentient beings.
Namga dan nyambe samje thamje dewa dan dewe judan dembra churje dunga dan dunga je judan chebra churje dunga mebe dewa dan menjara churje nyeren chadan nidan churje Nyingma nebra juru je ma namga da nyambe samje tambe dewa dewe juda dembe juru je andong andong juru dong mebe dewa da menjuru juru je neren chada nye
May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the cause of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Kanji Guru Jansu Jesu Rongshi Kara Kavala Dhoran Zepe Kajurum Boche Jepa Nambra Tawe Jinjen Chinabji Chujun Jesu Chimbe Yandra Se Meji Jempalam Jase Wa Yenru Linje Chube Chubji Chima Mebe Lama Tamba Nala Chan Zajen Choda Josa Chuwa Chinje Lavaran Zendu Su Dujin Jengwan Dalo Naro Da Mangada Pochun Jiden Gaten Sumden Zabalam Java Zaji Lama Yedam Juzong La Survan de Zoda Ju Chinjelo Chandrina Dumba Du Sanje Kanduman Garden Marashira Dujira Jantalbe London Yongzi Shin Na Guja Zer Lada Lameman Jom Jurjin Chuji Chola Chava Cheban Sanje Sonra Rabdu Jujuru Jatan Cheje Dambe Chunin Varian Shi 남가다 님베 심지 탐지지 돈도 도절라는 매바 양답으로 두고 산지지 공방통 바 진행장 자 네 대체도 모두 담배추 년신 된냠솔로 지고 냠베 네 투지바 rimboje 사다데 셈버쇼
So to establish the entire mother sentient beings at the state of Buddhahood with such sort of a great intention or with such sort of bodhicitta, I may listen to these teachings and practice.
야다 드네 당간도 드린 쉬양저 그 조 드네 다단데 다 정부 예신의 드네 끝센데니 기 드네 남터 조 전에 드네야 유백이다 제랍 어다 등선 노르든 거지 다 쇼르 집에 갑니 뒤로와 대로 당가랑 긴 체진도 세브로와 지다 가랭이스나 드네 남그 다니만 니르와 트렌산이 니레 대인도 전에다 트렌게 투촌들라 되는 컨선은 점건 군초르나 인체게 제랍 다텐소 공도 슈심바로와 산제외바 메바네 종대 오다 그네 배치되는 십잡된 잠지 제랍 십잡된 잠지 슈 심반로 지레 다드네 다단데 데링드네 마드네 콘초르나네 제베 드네 제랍 세우라다 콘팅 두 잠게 남다른 돌도연도 오지 슈드네 산이게 갑라 드네 장고 예신노 남다른 조 체와 드네 가시에지 네 드네 슈나 삼바다 드네 진스.
So today we are again gather here to to listen the teachings of His Holiness present life story, biography and life stories of his previous lives. And as we have 2 days, so what I have planned is that for today, we mainly focus on the life stories of from the Konchok Ratna to the follow up by the previous holiness. As we have already covered the life stories of before the Konchok Ratna, which begins from Buddha Amitabha and follow up until to Holiness Gyalwa Konchok Ratna, which makes around 27 lifetimes. And today we mainly focus on the life story of Konchok Ratna and follow up by the next 6 life stories of Holiness. And tomorrow we mainly talk about the life story of His Holiness and his special activities.
Tati indi zane, tene, ta jerab ginna, senanda kandar, soso ge ta tsawe lame, tene, temba da simchengi tun, kande nze yume, watin anshen tene, tusam gomsum ge tone, tene, temba kande nzen jungber sun nang yume, ta tinzu kolo zu ji shiwa indi zane, tene nganzu tandande namtar shio seya dan, namtar la, nganzu 같이 봤어요. 근데 되게 가르치는 딱이 요래 가르치는 연기 요래 세는데 전에 당연히 남주 드네 손dem나 요와 그나 라마 체랑다 우리 진질로스는 다른 정도 소반 되고 요와 달라마 체랑다 우리 진질로스는 소반 되야 되기 다지 된다로 돼 가스나 라마 주랑게 드네 투성 검숨 간데 남도 디난신도 템바다 심쟁게 돼 간데 남 니테나 신도 추기 토라 드네 주반양네 간데 남도 다 텐수 나신지 아주 차워쇼 세요와 디인도 전에 드네 지 텐수 간데 지 나 예매게 꼴라 드네 아주 셰도 조지 전에 다지 소소양 테나신 남가 텐테지게 토론로 어토모도 따기 사만로 지게 토네 드네 아주 남다르 셰야 남다르니 어떤데 진낭이 예스.
So when we talk about biography of our root guru, it consists of understanding about his dharma activities, his welfare activities towards sentient beings, and his how much he has studied, contemplated, meditate, and all this, which makes the biography of His Holiness. So when we say that we are studying a biography of our root guru, and we can say, why are we understanding or why we are studying about the biography of our root guru? So to answer this, usually in a supplication prayer of a master, we usually express that bless me so that I can become like you. So which literally means, which means that the bliss, which means that I may become like you. When we talk about I may become like you, this become like you consists of his way of studying, his way of welfaring for the sentient beings, his way of flourishing the Dharma. So once we understand his whole activities, then we try our best to become like him. We try our best to follow the path as he has followed, and we have a strong intention to become the way our guru is.
다 텐데 인도산에 계단게 되네 가주기 라마 고마 탐체대 되네 자외기 차네 남탈그 lum신저우데 패체 망체와데 지반로 용되게 남탈그 lum시 지반로래 다지 총세기 유르 테스트에서 만다와 총외기 두수 등수 테스트 만다와를 마도베 자외기 되는 남탈기 dom신도 되라 가지고 라마 망체와데 문에게 되는 갈색으로 다지 소소 로마 임베 값수 로마 체딩지 낭네 소소 라마 차외 값수 라마 체딩지 차와 낭대보다 되게 장장을 되요레스.
So when we talk about the Kagyupa masters, almost every Kagyu master has the almost same quality of biography. If we compile their biography, it is almost the same. The difference of Kagyupa master is that it's just a difference of their birthplace, their name of their names, their parents' names. There's the little bit difference among the Kagyu master, but the mainly compiled biography of Kagyu master is almost same. We can see that during their period of acting as a student, they were very great student, and when they get accomplished, they become a very great accomplished master. So these two categories are quite similar for all the Kagyupa masters.
티 인도산에 나 tane 딱 가지기 라마 텐소 tane 문에게 답배지 주반냠린 탈침반 낭네 대우 탈투바든지 토야기 자완로데 가르가 tunru요레 센도산에 홍남배기 주라 니지 다 소소게 라마라 무기 제벌지 요즘 생기 찍네 니네 되네 되는데 일반 냠냠처럼 준준 방송이 예비 좀 생겼더네 순배가 통과 되네 휴일라 대박 하나 쇼 전부 예비 좀 생겼더네 되네 아직 문에게 세대 주반 맞은 나용도 산에 되는 저부 자체 뭐지 도송 같은데 장장을 yes.
So therefore, all the Kagyupa master have accomplished in their realization of meditation, and the reason behind getting so much accomplishment, so much realization is that first they have the strong devotion towards their masters, and secondly, during the practice of meditation, they go through the hardships, and ultimately they have a strong faith towards the Dharma. Due to this three two, they successfully accomplished in their practices.
대한테는 되던데 저번에 된 송근게 돈다 공부는 송발에서는 네 또받지 다 무기 권한이 송도와 대지류 전에 따티 전에 공부 난신 전에 전에 가죽이 라마 텐속에다 통마를 소속이 라마라 땜베 값수 라만 챙이다 땜바지 녀야라 배전지 난기베레 라만 챙이다 땜바지 녀 차르기 죽을 대라 아니 오늘게 라마라 대방 요와 매방 라마 산지 무슨 등을 무그 텐데지기 토네 tani lamegi jesungba te ka nanshin drumne lebyundu zane niple homa rani yang lamegi kompang tanda chik tani tomru yuwa.
So as it is stated by Lord Jigten Sumgon in Single Intentions that the method of a realization is merely the devotion. So in accord with that quotation, all the Kagyupa master goes through many hardships to search an authentic master, and when they get an authentic master, they have inseparable sort of devotion towards their own master, and they follow their master, and they follow each and every bit instructions that were instructed by their master, and they ultimately reach the pinnacle of the realization as equal to their own masters.
어떤데 인도 전에 나 드니 배지 Mugun Pusum Soba Chig Tone, Tene Lam Tapechi, Tombola Salam Tombola person to the Chanjan Redures. Penang around so Tenechi, da Casing Human, Shubik and Namtarna Jinche in the Zanea, Tene Jetsun Naropagia, Telupa Ting to Zane, one at Telupa de Sanji Untung Mugichik on the Ting, the Ting to Zane, Lame Kang Sombatilla Tesumeva shoot to Vachi Chayung. Then agendo teneta than the Lama Marpet and the pension Narobatin Kosoyan, Lama Tela Sanji Musun Tome Gone, then Monegi, Sosugi, Luda, Sola Sobalaya, Hochi, Tuba Meva, or Tendichiton, the Ten Tobin Gurua. Then agendo teneta than the Jesu Millarebe, Pamarvalo the Ten Kosoyan, or the Ten agende, Kandarji, Kaseji Kale Jabju, Kaseji Cheba Cheba Inaya, Tensula Zubumche. 모조이나 되네베 라메기 간다르치 소소게다 딕딥 조양치도 송용근도 삼반마도베 로다 짜와는 마제와 제네 간다 대신에 라마 땡용도 자네 되는 제고 자치로 탑송하러 어 대인도 되네 가주게 라마 남기 라마 땡선도도 대체게 돈을 땡용고래 스테인도 자네 되네 토말 무구도 개치와 인자 되네 라마는 무구고 돈 땡소로 대체게레스.
So the reason behind all that masters to get the ultimate realization is that they have the deepest sort of devotions towards their master, and that leads to the highest stage of realization. When we look at the biography of Tilopa and Naropa, Naropa relied on his master, and he only sees his master as equal to Buddha, and he went to so many hardships. Similarly, when it comes to Marpa, relying or Marpa accepting Naropa as his teacher, he accept him as equivalent to Buddha, and he gone through so many hardships, and he was also neglecting his own life. He was so in a service to his master, he gone through so many hardships. And when it comes to Milarepa, he also gone through so many hardships to rely on his master to go through so many hardships. So when it comes to the Kagyupa master, they gone through so many hardships. They without generating any sort of wrong intentions towards the instruction of a master, they accept that whatever their master is instructing, it is merely to subdue one's own afflictive emotion. So with that sort of intention, they rely on a master, and that is the reason that why Kagyupa masters mainly focus on the devotion, and due to that devotion, they get the highest stage of realization. So initially, devotion is very important in Kagyu lineage.
텐데 인도잖아. 다 텐데기 가지고 라마 고만 남지 묵은 제술 텐데지기 돈은 되게 요바된 건지 신경 지게 토안에 당가랑 속에 양 텐데지 라마 땡두잖아. 라마테 라다 원해지 산증 무슨 통투바지 산증 운동기 대바지 주범에 대바지 라메 테네지 까찌송화당 어떤 제바 간리지 땜바 있나야 델라 테는 문에게 이니 태순메베 돈에 대변 주도바지 정말 있나 테니까 주게다 제수 슈바서야 테네지 차인 거로와 대인도 테네 라메 찌송화 있나야 라메 강 제바 있나야 나서 이니 태순메바 제초야기 좀센도데 가르토용 그래서나 라메 찌송화데 추든 틈바지 송그래 라메게 강 제바 추든 틈바지 대기요래 대인도 산에 나저 델라 테네지 태순 메베 돈에 슈송화 있나야 델라 람가 논로야 당 남간 충로야 근데 가야 매바인 바리 대인도 산에 오다 텐데지기 돈에 라마 공매 묵은 재단을 빼다네 나랑 쪽에 라마 템베 가수 묵으더니 요함에 받지게 돈을 뗀 거야 다만 좀 빼트리지는 그래서
So all the Kagyupa master have this shows that how the Kagyupa master have generated such sort of strong devotions towards their own master. So similarly, we must realize or we must accept our master as the same as this the Kagyupa masters. So when we rely on our root guru, we need to see him as a Buddha, and we need to have a strong, unchangeable faith or devotions toward our guru, and we need to do whatever our guru instruct us to do so. So the purpose of doing whatever our guru says to us is that whatever he speaks in accord with the Dharma. He won't say something which is not related to Dharma. Therefore, it won't lead us to any sort of wrong path. So therefore, we must have a strong devotions towards our master. And if we have such strong devotion, and if we follow like our earlier masters, then we become true Kagyupa practitioners.
Anything I seen to Tane Lama Kuma Tensugi Shula Tusum Gumsum Nangtangi Tenichi number Tarba Tensula Nansu Sanutane Tenichi Telepet Devetone or Tening around Sogea Tachi Tandegi Tusum Dilla Lama Kuma Tusum Gumsum Tusum Shinki Tachi Tusugi Tachin in Koryugu Tunjin Tiga Nanshinji Yontoya Kaburi Yinanga Ransoga Kantum Rojigi Tenet Tuji on Koryuji Tun or Tendegi Tone Tenichi Tula Tusum Gumsum Chegoya Nikide and the Tatos of Yes.
So similarly, whatever our masters have committed, whatever in what way they have studied, in what way they have contemplated, in what way they have meditated. So through that activities, we need to learn from them. And though it is very hard to have such sort of environment and such sort of time like they used to have, the environment they used to have, but still we try our best to at least make up such environment, at least found some times to perform in a way that they had performed the Dharma.
Te indu tsane tanda penna tene nganzo cheta shula hinru chene gom ne chula sano tawa ina kaseng tene jetsun milagi tene taburum bo chelata tamegi damga chen nangdawa tamegi damga chen nang indu tsane karisung barsana damga tama den din sene tene tandande ta kongi kubgi shata tembarwa ta tegar shuja ina te tamche te ta pechi 라초나시 라고나시 배 타보텐데 차차게 바로도 간들 곰 잡네 주사 찍어 죽네 단냠네 텐데진 나와인 디인도산에 다 담가 안 되를 하지 매 주랑초야다 내나시 제고래스네 무슨 gambo벌 송도와 다 디나시 인도산에 나랑초야 아직 흐메기 예수 밀라레바네 손도 단대기 아직 한주 자외라마 정부 이신로 넘버 2다 텐데기 바로도 신베 라마 텐속이 다지 곰냠네 간대진 낭도 로와 디인도 남수 텐수 차지 마차와 이나양 대가 잠지 차야라 몰람자야 대가 잠지 차야라 레와체야 대가 잠지 차야라 나랑 종문에 고지 탑람 감투투로 지금 배준 제거야 돼 당가랑 쪽은 달래 남타르드네지 제와당 남탈 년백이 어떤 그던데보다 된대 지금 성 당구 요레스
As an example of going through hardships during the practice of Dharma. So as we have gone through the biography of Milarepa and Tapo Rinpoche, so the last instruction that was given by Milarepa to Tapo Rinpoche is that he shows his own hips to Tapo Rinpoche. His hips was in a so harsh condition that it was become so hard like a horn. So he instructed to Gampopa that my hips becomes such hard due to going through so hardships on a meditation. And likewise, you all have to go through such kinds of hardships. And this is my final instructions to you all. So in this way, Milarepa instructed to his disciple Gampopa. So similarly, earlier masters from Milarepa to the present earlier masters such as Milarepa and to the present to His Holiness, we need to look at their biographies, and we need to understand that how they have gone through hardships, how they have performed the meditation. So though it is very difficult to perform the same activities equivalent to them, but still we must have to supplicate to perform similar to them. We must try our best to perform similar to them, and we must try our best so that we can one day reach at their level.
Indu telling on that tendency, Lamen Namta Tembeke Tone, telling on Soyanda, Titology, Lamga Tendechi Tola, left to the show, Samiando. Or Nansoyachita, Tashi, Kang Tadaji Tone, the Lamga take it think and Muneji Lema to Bainaya, Nansuke capture the Tijong or Jing Drogi, Samandoji. And a compound boy and a compategi or boy says you Ruatina, Jinchene, Nanzo, that's it, Musu, Lama Command Nambegi, Chula Tuba Chetur, Lama Nambegi, Chula Samba Chetur, Lama Nambegi, Chula Gomba Chetur, Nanshinji, Nazo Tensang to Subeta, Sangising and the Legic Gala, there's a Kaleka was ready already, Yinayang and so Tigi, capture the to Kapo to Baji, Bekachimbo, Motinesi Chavures. Tindu Nazopan and Dene, Dujidin, the which in Drogu Yona, Tangus Combapon and Dromatuba Inaya, Droyagin, Debachigotone, Kade, Pa Dorjideng Cholo, Cortubachi, never to go Yurua, Temado Kade, Yatane, Choice and Dachila Cor, then it jabbed the Dorjideng, then Devayina, Taco, Droya Mando, Kaya Makoro in a Peche Dorjideng Levagi. Since Sawan or Matsubanaji Chanurua or Tea in Duzane, telling us that you can take Tone, Lama Kong, Namtala Samne. Tane, Sosugi Chuch Yag Tola, Gazunji Chetobaina, and a Lamen Namtriginane, Namaji, Len Tugre, Temado Kesiji, Tendum, Sanu Matawana, Lamen Namtu, the Duzane, has a good room here, Shinji Chandra, meaning Grace.
So, reminding the biography of masters, we always must have the strong intention that may I attain that level of realization. So, if may I fail to reach that level of attraction, I will try my best to go into the same direction that my master has been. My master has followed. So recalling upon the studying that they have performed, the contemplation that they have performed, the meditation that they performed. So though it is very difficult in today's time to reach their way of their level of going through hardships, it is very difficult to perform like them. But at least we must think that if I'm not able to attain that sort of direction, I will try to go into that direction. At least if I know it doesn't reach that level, I might try my best to get and go in that direction. Suppose if somebody wants to go to Bodh Gaya and if he cannot reach Bodh Gaya, at least he can look at the direction. At least he can try to move towards the direction of the Bodh Gaya. If he may not reach the ultimate Bodh Gaya, but he can initially start with the direction. If he is looking towards opposite direction of Bodh Gaya and he is planning to go to the Bodh Gaya, and then he won't reach in his lifetime. So by understanding the biography of our masters, we need to collect the knowledge from the biography of our masters, and with the intention to practice the pure dharma, we need to collect some knowledge from their biography of master, else it will be just like listening some beautiful stories.
Tene tena shin ta tendegi ngazu ji pe ta tubdam mutub tendegi tola kaji kor tubdam mutub sayate tene zawan rawo de kari towarsan tanji shuyinba ta mugu lama la teba shukshechon tungruwa lama la tene ngazu teba kaji nimi ji yoba ina ngazu tele pe taya neba rangshin gilem roya ji chagiruwa tena shindu lama tela kaji nimi ki teba pasung sobaji yu soma ina lama di songbegi song tamche de ngazu damga la koto bachi chanuruwa lama degin teba kanriji tenba ina ya de tamche de ngaranzu chu dubegi tenen tunchen rabu jila nrotubiyaga kogabji yongdegi yuruwa di indu zane teni mugu saya tala kaju bagi karbu chiktu seke zane mugu yu na tegarangin rinro bachi di indu karbu chiktu la chik rangi tenen rinrowa mugu yang tawaji yu suwa ina da tela tene sadan lamgi yonten da nyamlen tamche ko rangshingi lebi yuruwa tene chik percha chaba ina nganzu meto dumra chimbuchi yuwa ina tene bud ramadi ko rangshingi lebi yuruwa Gyaltsen jungkengi mbudi ko rangshingi lebi yungure ti nanshin chini tene tadandi mugu di yuwa ina tene yonten tamche te ngam shushuki tene yule che yungure yes moda tene song yungurwa yin di zane tene mugu chiyade kechimbu tene jimbares.
So similarly, no, when we say whether if we say that whether I can do like my master or not, then the reason, then it is depend totally on your strong devotion. Suppose if you have a pure sort of devotion towards your masters, then whatever your master speaks to you, you can receive that words as an instruction. Whatever he performs, you see as the special activities. So through that sort of devotion, you can definitely perform the similar activities like our masters. So usually in Kagyupa tradition, they usually call the devotion as karpo chiktop, which literally means that's enough. Means if you have devotion, then it is enough for you to reach the ultimate realization. All the realization of parts, all the realization of bhumis can be attained merely from this devotion. For example, if there is a flower, then the bees will automatically comes to suck the requirement stuffs. So when you have the devotion, all the knowledge will automatically generate within you. Therefore, it is very much essential to have strong devotion.
Yeah. 다 tene indu tene choban chikten sunggungi kari sungbarasana ndiriji sungdawa lama la tebachi sayindu zane tene sosugi tene zawe lama tagu lama tela tene di lamande ta nge lamande lama tene sosu jiwo jiyin samandro ta nganzo me tamal bachi ngarangso nanshingi me jiyin samandro me zangbo jiyin samandro tenrigi samlo mato tene rinthang roji sosu sim nangla tele hlawegi tene mugun roji che mashiba ina tene di jumsengi churangi simgi thola yonten kanya jig mares penna tene ji chanchugi sim toni ki tawa wala soba tenrigi nyamle yule che ya pekale kabu chasares tendu gamala sosu jiwo yinba samlo tawa ina tegi yunten toba kanya jula mejes.
So it is stated by Jigten Sumgon that you must have devotions toward your master. So it means and that suppose we have a root guru and we see our root guru as just ordinary and great person. So if we see our master as just an ordinary being, then if we failed to go beyond such sort of views towards our master, if we only merely see him as a ordinary being, then we won't be able to generate any sort of realizations like understanding, like bodhicitta quality, right? Like the understanding of true natures.
테네테나신 다양 텔레티즈 섬노 야간다고지 텔레티즈 섬노 야간다고 땅에 땅에 라만데 오늘 장추 선바 야부지레 삼바 텐데게 대바쌈지 저랑 여바이나 땅 소소게 라만데 지 장추 선바 야부지 이미 삼바 텐데지 저랑게 성면나라 렌탕지 여바이나 텔라테네 저랑게 줄라 장추게 섬다 닝지데지 지제나 겐도 카오레 다 대한 태송레 송바레 대인디 라마라 장주 선바임ben 두시 짬게 양 데네베 초랑게 줄라 사당 람게 연대도 예도 마레스 어떻게 송바레.
And if we update that ordinary intention, if we update a little bit higher, suppose if you have intention that my guru is a bodhisattva. If you see your guru as a bodhisattva, then maybe you can hardly generate a small level of bodhicitta or small level of compassion within you, but still it is very difficult. So it is still very difficult to attain the ultimate realization within you. So seeing the guru as a bodhisattva also helps you to get the ultimate realization. Yes.
다 되니 양 삼로 텔레티스 좀 토반토지 삼로단에 당에 되니 라만디 되니 장주 선바 짬마세 당문에 산지 뚫베고지 삼바 그리고 산지 뚫고지 삼바로 텐데게 삼로지 렌탕 텐데지 저런 게 삼는 여바이나 델라 때네 저랑 되니 지 때에서 옌라 펜베기 내가 테스트에서 제토바지 차 시그레스 얘네야 다동 지 살람게 또바 하나인다 찾아진부 또발라서바 줄어져야 갈래 가보래 에스 텐데 라마 산지 뚫고인 삼바 되게 얌매 벤송바데.
So if we again updated the intention bit higher from bodhisattva, suppose if we say that my master is a Nirmanakaya Buddha. So with such sort of intention, you can do welfare for the others being at a very low level, but still you cannot generate the quality of understanding of Mahamudra. You cannot generate the quality of knowledge of paths and knowledge of the 10 bhumis. Therefore, seeing the master as Nirmanakaya also won't able to get the ultimate realization.
다 대래야 다 농양 안주지 삼로 슉 채완로 대바대에서 슉 채완로 차네 개시드네 중앙게 라만데 산지 롱주 조백고 뭐 텐데지 삼바 텐데기 문에 지금 무구다 대바지 여바이나 대라 때네 드네 중앙게 다지 무유르 내급게 드네 무유르 다 투문구 그룹 세고로와 투문구 그룹 세고요난다 내가긴 제우 텐데 테스트에서 다 톱투그레스 얘네야 다동 지 찾아친구 또 발라서봐 람기연데 계속 갈래 가보래 송말에.
So if your intention gets a bit stronger, suppose if you have intention that my guru is Sambhogakaya state, or if you have a strong faith and devotions towards your guru, and you see your guru as a Sambhogakaya, then you can gain some qualities such as your present wishes might get fulfilled. but you cannot gain the knowledge of higher realization. And therefore, seeing your guru as Sambhogakaya won't lead you to the ultimate realization.
다 되네. 다 원하 되네 찾아 전부 그 또발라 소바. 텐데지 줄에 제버 제발라. 달라말라 무궁 안주 간디지 제토바 제고래. 송도산에 되는 직된 송고기 딱 문에 라마데 추구 도진창 문에이 삼바. 로와 판 제외값수 끝에 매기 륜도 지나양 라메게 토데 다 도진창 뭐마이 삼베게 텐데게 무구 해도 된 바지 요소와이나 되네 찾아 친구 또 받지 않다 태중고 말에서는 어떻게 송도가
So if you ask a question, then what kind of devotion that we need to have to attain the ultimate realization of Mahamudra. So in response to that, Lord Jigten someone expressed that we must see our Guru as a Vajradhara Buddha in a real state. We may see his body as a human form, but we must have a strong devotion that his mind is not separable. His mind is the pure Vajradhara. So if you have such sort of strong devotion, then there is no objection that you won't get the ultimate realization. You will definitely get the ultimate realization of Mahamudra.
다 대인들잖아요. 딱 먼저 담카래. 말한 쪽에 담카. 인지문지변은 네 추구인도 제쇼아서네. 다지 까당긴 요 말이라. 대인들 제단 먼저 변하지 추 제단 매제 있어야 돼요. 가생 먼저 공도 시반하시래. 추 제단 매제 있어야 돼요. 먼저 라완래. 드네 가세지 제이 지gin이 있어야 돼요. 소속의 라완래. 드네 추 가르치기 있어야 돼요. 먼저 소속 라완래. 다 대체인도 전에 계시 송바다 다 계시 나랑서 지 가르서래 또바 강연 줄을 찐도메 다지 다서 라마테다 냠도 맞아 지 투수제한다고 지 그러와 투수제한다고 지기 상원으로 지기 돈에 맞아 라마 땡기 유는네 다 라마데 소소지고 메야보지래 삼대바이나 건 되로와 되는데 대가랑 되게 되거든 그 투수제 두그래 다 계승하랑 저 줄라지 참바던 hin지의 장축의 섬 테스트에서 제군도 삼반라지 유나 텐데지 제나 지긴도 템지 제토와 지긴 삼바이나 네버도 라마데 장축 섬방 문에 임백이 뉘시지 나랑수 줄 고요래 다 델레야 테스지 다가 제인도 전에 근데 라마 산제 주국은 뉘시당 롱군 뉘시 지내는 되게 다 계시 찾아 친구 또 봐지 줄을 제고 유나 근데 냠 세다 된 거지 차 두고 유나 근데 라마 산제기 주국에 되는 뉘시테 어다 다음에 가지고 그래서 어떤데 송을 대인도 전에 딱 나랑 좀 남파 지하게 두수지래 대인도 전에 이 당보 권행 가서 산제 주국에 뉘시 제서야 돼 갈래카보를 때 이내고 양야여와 무그 들어야 장내 라마데 장추 선바인 듯이 돌아장. 근데 대나신 라마 산지기 뭐인바 산지 주국이라는 신인바 롱국이라는 신인바 는 다도 주국이라는 신인바 어떻게 지기 돌아 야 무그디 장기 로송아이나 된 다도 배지 주국이라는 신 통야 예바 뭐다 되는지 인데기 예바래.
So overall, it is our optional. It is the optional choice. So nobody is there to force us that you must see your guru as Vajradhara Buddha. So as we discussed earlier, that even practicing a dharma is one's own choice. What kind of dharma you want to practice, what amount of time you want to practice is our own choice. So there is no objection in that. There is no force in that. So suppose if we assume that if you don't want to get realization and if you just want to spend some quality times, then yes, you can see your master as an ordinary being or a good person, and you can spend time with him. You can there is no issue in that. But if you want to generate a bodhicitta within yourself, then at that time you must see your guru as a actual bodhisattva, and that will lead you to generate bodhicitta within you. And a bit higher to that, suppose if you want to update your own realization, then you can see your guru as a nirmanakaya, guru as a sambhogakaya, and in accordance with that you can generate your own realization. But when it comes to Mahamudra, if you want to generate the realization of Mahamudra, it is very much essential to see your own guru as Buddha Vajradhara. So so we have all these options, and it is really true that at initial level it is very hard to have such sort of devotion, such sort of faith to see our guru as a Vajradhara. But yes, we can do, and we can do by getting familiar to that, by doing practices at initial level. We can see our guru as an ordinary person, then we can update our intention to bodhisattva, then to nirmanakaya, then to sambhogakaya, then to ultimately we can see our guru as a Vajradhara. So all this can be performed through the practices, and it is possible to generate such strong devotion.
Laman kantindaji inayan ta tsawe lama de laman toshiruwa de mayimba sosoge chuji shuwe kala inayan ta ngaranzo tangma nanda ji kashe dina pe dengen chu nyamlen chene pe ji tusu yun ringbo chane monege ji ta kala kansamge chu yapun chinkenya yujire tene yang kashe ne ji chu sarwala tusam chinkenya yujire tiendu tane kangdar yang tene ngaranzo ge ji tambo sosoge chu chewe kawge 군홍대 만으로와지로와 삼로 만으로와지 삼로 만으로와서 인도잖아요. 아주 추지해야 돼. 제 가르쳐보려다. 직행기 추제 주야라고 지기치도 많이 바로와. 근데 맹당 고사 첨부지 도약치도요 많이 봐. 어때나신도 벤줄 농주 첨부지 도약치도요 많이 봐. 너는 나랑 저다 지금 그러에 나라 엔데는 파 대두잖아요. 가도 얘는 거치 드라마틱 바직당 되네 동해 체다 총송 망부 지게 강에 때 대바 된대게 용 된게지 인류잖아요. 동해 대려야 타네 대한테네 라니 지부 마인 바 남가다님 베스제 탐지 거기 동해 되네야지 타야게 체도 내추 주긴 사마로다 토말 먼저 근홍 만으로와 어떤데 지고요래 근데 데이터네 다지 양지 당보면서 취주부서도 상마 악산로지 전 남상 아주 벤조보 산지그 구마 톱고 요선에 지취 현현지 인내송의 참체는 연장으로 제재와 이나양 참참될 때네 뭐라다 강연 테스 같은데 용도와 대인도 전에 근데 지금에 계획신이 라마 신인도 된 같은데지 된 투야람 배전치야 텐데 땡하게 체도 근데 지 소소가 뭐남자야 텐데지 땡 투야게 체도 소소가 초사야 어 텐데지 체제와이나 그냥 아직 아주 초 사용도 전에 디기 왕게 난주 섬근는 게 리바트 다 연구요래 섬근는 게 리바 가세 다와 있느냐 대잠지 라마 계획신이 승리도 된 방에서 토비아를 레사 연구를 송도와 대인도 전에 근데 토말니도 텐데지 제고에 배 개침부 인구이서레스
So mainly whatever master it may, root master is at the top, or whatever master it may support. So suppose here in this gathering, we might have listeners who have studied or contemplated Buddhism for many years and were specialized in Buddhism, or we can have beginner practitioner as well. But whatever it may be, whatever dharma we are practicing, whatever we are engaging in Dharma, we must have the pure intention before beginning or before getting engaged into the Dharma. Suppose if we shouldn't do or practice Dharma to receive any sort of fame, to receive any sort of money. So what should be our intention is that, as we all know, that we all are um, we all are engaged in the in sufferings, and due to that we must have the intention that I will liberate the entire sentient beings from this suffering. So with such sort of intention we must get engaged into dharma. So usually when we talk about dharma, then we initially what we do is we get into a rush, and we get into anybody who is giving teachings, so without doing, and we can sometimes go into a wrong direction because due to our rushness we connect with some wrong person and get wrong, and we can go into a wrong direction. Therefore we must try our best to find our authentic teacher, and after that we must try to accumulate merit. So what is the reason of accumulating the merit is that it will reduce the afflictive emotion within us. So the amount of afflictive emotion that are get reduced, that will lead us to find the authentic teacher. Therefore it is very much essential to accumulate merit.
텐데 인도산에 다 등수제 된 건도 지단 남준 그네 지다 kulun yargoya ndo nenga ndo jire samundu kain sanan ganzo pena ta chojin samun tamayina metse tuzu ringon ndo jire de yang chojin samun ndo metse tuzu tongtong jire ten ganzo tuzu tongtong de gin nangla ne ji soso ge da pe yang chu lugin sambe ge samun ndo ji je yang de yang ganzo pe ji so de chen bu ji re 다 소대 첨부지 인류자네 텐데게 류약은 되바지 레네 두수 메세 통통지기 나는 건저 추류약은 되바지 레용도 자네 다디 통통 디나라 추류약의 두수 가세지 토바 이나양 땡가서 최대인지 영향라 대전 제고에도 개침부로와 대마도 양지 룸네 룹샤와 지라 대라양 춤제시다 맹겐지 룹송아이나 되네 만지바 인도 자네 되네 문에지 추 최대인지 류야당 추 양타바진 류야데 아주 개치슈데 되는 라마 계획이니 세야 텔라라래 용도와 디지털 산에 답으로 뭐 제기 되네 나서 산지게 공방 토바 제발라 되네 주대 나서 줄을 요래 손도와 주대신님 보스 나서 심지 탐제라 지과래 제발 제요 말을 요대 바로와 따이네 주유바 지구 팽마래 되네 젠지구 요러와 나서 배나 신간나 따비하기 르이 사분 지구 요바게 팽면도와 대테는 답사게 신가지구도 답 살외게 제라 텔 출루구도 루루구도 어다 텐데신에 제만 보진 좀네 제우지 제구 요와 티인두산에 난소 산제게 공방 토야 당 난소 줄라트는지 추년에 야보지 차야라 주대신님 뭐 요래데 이는 디토라 근데 젠데 그것은 답으로 뭐 제게 젠의 계획신인데 송도와 티인두산에 근데지 라만 친이도 된 거지 드는 거서 땡 야는 배전치야 당 드네지 땡 표발라 드는 거서 다지 소소 드네지 땡야 라 그냥 가외 지수이랑 같이야 소소소소라 이문에 가와 공고야 뭐 드네게 돈은 로고에 백해 침부레스.
So this is some important things and that we use that we mainly must keep in our so this is very important things that we must keep it with ourselves. So when it comes to life, from one part it looks a little bit long, and from another part it looks quite short. And when we see from the shortest part of life, and in short part of life, if we have intention to practice the Dharma in a short part of life, then it is very great. And when we are performing a Dharma in such short time of life, then it is very much essential to do a Dharma which is very authentic, and the authentic dharma only comes from the relying on the authentic master. So in accordance to that, Gampopa said that to get the ultimate realization, to get the Buddhahood, we all have the seed, we all have the Buddha nature, but it is not enough to get the ultimate realization. But we need a reason, we need another reason to get to that realization. Suppose if with a single seed itself, we cannot grow, we cannot bow, or we cannot grow into another stage, so for that we need land, we need soil, we need fertilizer, and there we need many circumstances. So therefore, to attain the Buddhahood, the Buddha nature is not enough. So what's the circumstances that we required is the master, so authentic master. So it is very much important to go through hardships in search of authentic masters, and relying upon authentic master, and studying upon authentic masters. So once you get such a sort of authentic master, we must feel very great, we must be very joy towards such sort after receiving such sort of authentic masters.
What in the Chi Tulasha, that ring and so in the Nema, the Nekassing, Jama Kunchorne, Hunri Gitinichi, Jerab, Gisunde, Nan Sumbanasi, you should subdue some Chi, Hachi, Mixeki, Neg Niba Meba, Tu Niba Meba. Ding if I may want to take it on a we give us any. Then is some change to Jachambo, Drubek it in Jerab, then you should than the subdune some G, some doa or tere. Not only on the Jerab that takes some Chibuji reverse and takes some Chibugian, if I may want to young day you penat and the Kojorin Konregi Jeram, you subdune Konga Gana, Jeram, you subdune son Yorilla. 야지 대마임베기 남타르 젠더 젠겐난도 단답변나 자왕 꾼초르나 당 테나신도 테네 공사 제와를 뭐지 텐두 텐데기 제와를 뭐지 그 꾼팅당 테네 단다 정군 꾼초르네기 꾼팅 주바든도 상마디 주지직인 같은데 야 손이 좀 마무도와 주지직래 변나 Papa Jinese want to that Chanchu Samba Papa Jinese want to tea Tenepechi Jitangan come Badu Mebala Simchen Tayebatin in Jamberchev Chedu Gui Guba Jamendra Tujigla number Nazo Den Chobat and the Jirota Salaneve Chanchu Samba Tensugi Naranzo Namji Jewalimbanasi or Yingo Marwa Nazo in the Wajanda go Tantegi Lutin the Padzone Ya Jewa Shumata Jewa Chiglan lane to Motobe the Jewa Nisum and the lane to Marwa. Salaneve Chanchu Samba Tensude, Durjan Dobrchev Chedu, Bad Meba, Lane Chowa, what did you zane? Ne, than the Jeta Jeregi, Punting, Ujitang, or Tina Shindung around so the name Jetang is in Punting. Our Gilles in Basonjaba, what in the young Yure. Teletina Jinto, young Chungsang is in the Wugitane, Tati, Jetun Jambe and Yimba, now Lesson Yurua, or teaching the Zane, Telecochi, Ruji Chigle, Druba Tomat and the Tenchoba in the Zane, Control and Andrawagina, Benam, Onsa Kunting Sumba. Onsa Khenchen Chamber, Kunting Sumba de la Sonum Janto Segre. The Kunting Sumba de Sonum Jasore. Tendegi Tene Kusa Kunting Sumba de Pa Gumba Yangele, De Tsaregi Jela, Tene Tela Yang, or Turban number not so what in the G, or Chumare Team Tane, Tene T, Tene Casota, Turjundo Sevrua, Chig, Yawan Conchorinare, Tena Shindo Tenea, Consa Kunting Jibayang, ele turbe turbat niti turju tinde chi redo yore te indu zane tene ngarang choge tanda kunchore nan ro dina tene konsa kun sumba pha gongba shewar shik simbe gi jesu tene ti number turba mangbu yebe nane tene chi tanda jewa kunchore na yin sene oda tende namtal lorju nanga na songyong wa tende yungdo wa tende re.
So as for now, we have studied according to the supplicate prayer that is written by His Holiness Konchok Ratna. And up to Konchok Ratna, we have studied about lifetimes merely around 27. And without any specific land, without any specific time, without any specific sort of forms, they manifest in various things, various beings, and they act for the welfare of sentient beings. And if we say whether that is the exact calculation of life stories of holiness, then no, it is not the exact. We can say that though it is 27 life legacy before Pancho Ratna, but in other sort of biographies, if we can say that the Konchok Ratna, His Holiness Konchok Ratna, and His Holiness and the Dalai Lama life legacy, the life stories, the Jatakas are same. They are manifestation of Avalokiteshvara, so their legacy is same. And so when we talk about such as great bodhisattvas, Avalokiteshvara, their performing activities are very profound. They can manifest themselves in many forms at a single time. It is not just like an ordinary person. Suppose if we are born today and if we pass, then we can be born into one other being, single being only. But when it comes to the bodhisattva who are at the higher stages of bhumis, they can manifest in various form to tame the sentient beings. So, and therefore, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and His Holiness Chesang Rinpoche's life legacy or Jataka is the manifestation of Avalokiteshvara. Therefore, they are in same legacy. And when we talk about Chungsang Rinpoche, our another holiness, his legacy, he is the manifestation of Manjushri, and also Manjushri can also manifest himself in so many forms at a single time. So when we talk about the third Dalai Lama, who was Sonam Gyatso, it is said that after that Dalai Lama passed away, then in his next life, he gets manifest into many forms. And among them, the Konchok Ratna, who is the 22nd throne holder, Konchok Ratna, His Holiness Konchok Ratna was one manifestation of a third Dalai Lama, and also the fourth Dalai Lama himself is the manifestation of third Dalai Lama.
Tati indu zane, jawa kuncho renandi, tene chunglo, tati nanshin, tenzu dina, jilu jikdong tene gubju lola, tene chunga, tene sikirwa, jilu jikdong gubjang, tanandi jikdong ngabja gubju, turab judu benanga. Techilu zane, tene, tat jawa kuncho renegi, yab jengi rongi denram nishu padrwa yawa kuncho na de denram nishu tandan de idre karse zani pad cha yung yo tan de denram tan tela tan ngso chi mandawa yung de tandan e tandan de rong jamgun peme Gyaltsen ge tene song jabe rong denram senteng sene cha ji yorwa ta de shi ja chin shu wa yin tene tan jawa kuncho na de denram nishu zani padre 네 정원 컨트롤에 내기 얍데 단단데다 대납 니슈바데 차인 거와 어디 인디자네 드니 자왕 권조르나 된 총로대 직동납자 급주글로 총 드니 야긴 센라 아만디 당안조 총미 주장 분조서야다 대납 니슈바 어디 세트데 차인 거레스
So therefore, the Holiness Poncho Ratna was born in year 1590, which is in 16th century. So his father was the 28th throne holder of Digong Kagyu lineage. There are various different ways in explaining the throne holder of our lineage, but at the moment I am expressing in accordance with the history that is written by His Holiness Peme Gyaltsen. So the father name of Gyawa Koncho Ratna was Tsumet Chogyap Ponzo.
Tsumi Chujam Ponzo. Tati Indu Zane, Tsumi Chujam Ponzo, Denzab Nishubatela, Tenese Chewatela, Tandandi Napo Sayerwa, Tanamjung Aranso, Dongi, Denam Yusati Patane, Tendu, Tati Jaman Kunchorin, Kumchi Cheware, Tene Jaman Kunchorin Negi, Kumchin Ringwate, Tandandiroa, Shamar Kunchang Tupa. Shamar kunchang chupati chayungure. Tene tena shindo kunri tandante se sumbatere. Tene kunchore negi wala tanda kunchen zin chuji chakwa. Tanganzu jamgu chungsang kunchang tangbo. Oterwa te indu zane tadante chuje punso rung derab nishuba kongla tene se yi yudu zane se cheshu de naru tashin punso sanin rung derab nishu zachik batere. Ten tanda jamwa kunchore nande tene rung derab nishu zani bade chayungu yore tene jawan rinchen punso de deram ni zaksumba chayungu yore tene tadande da kumchin ringwa tene rubju kama kamsang lama shamar kunchang chukpa o tende chi chayungu yore.
So the 20th throne holder Tsungmet Chorgel Punsok has 4 sons, and the eldest son was whose name was Narutashi, and he was the 21st throne holder of Digong Kagyu lineage. And after that, middle son was the 6th incarnation of Jama Rinpoche, and it belongs to the Kama Kagyu tradition. And after that, it is himself, the Gyalwa Poncho Ratna, who is the 22nd throne holder of Digong Kagyu lineage, and the youngest son was the first reincarnation of Chungsang Rinpoche Rigzen Choski Tapa.
Tene tadande ta jawan kuncho renegi sati wang long ti menga ta tenzu tede zawegi tandande yap tabe lama samji me chaba chire denam nishu pade tene ti kundu ne wang long ti menga yongso senshi naware teda cho sungbe tone ten tadande ta konri kumchi shamar chubare tenan shendo tene be tela sobe lama samji me chaba ten tene lama 대당인데 네 tene 왕 롱티 맹아 용수도바지 슈네 슈와 텐솔라야 지 주비운도 전에 주베게 땅생 다 삼님이 제가 정말 텐데게 남탄나 용도와 tene 사버도 다는데 정원 근처 레나저우지나 믹세게 tene 다단데 제준 물라라 템베 tene 라두게 탄항 텐데 밤내 tene 베 라두 두츠테바 세 tene 탄항 텐데 밥용하래 대 밤내 tene 라두 왕 대나신도 라두 두즈 테베게 라두 두즈 테베게 티글라스 라테게 송텐데 만보지 유도와 대인도 전에 저 치션도데 공개되는 냠신도데 라두고 돌아 나용와 인도 전에 라두고 치고 만보지 다나 바용 같은데 지레스.
So Gyalwa Koncho Rinchen, he received the oral transmissions, empowerment, and with instructions and many more teaching from the great master as well as his own father, the 20th throne holder, Tsungme Chogyapon. And also he received teachings from the 6th Jamarpa, also his brother, and also from many masters. He received many teachings and practiced and got accomplishment and realizations. And especially he relied on the Milarepa Guru Yoga practices, and with that he get the great realization. And usually it is says that falling of Guru Yoga nectars, he got that great treasure and understanding of that practice.
Tene tene anshindu kongi tene zuo taji nzhung kaju ki denrab ki nana yang denrab zeji chewa ki chedo uchi chayung gurwa. Kanyin sanang huma tene nzhung tanda deta denrab nishu dan nishu zachi la sobe kabla miksay ki nzhung densan tir rang la jing tim tansu dik tim tansu shida ki tambu rang yu samare. Ti indu tene jawa koncho rinna ki tene tanda denzin nama kabla tene nzhung densan tirdan tina jin zhong tina yang gala so wata tanzu le pe ji chu gi tim de pe tambun nang ne tende gi tone tina temban zin jong person nang tembal pe garin chimbun nang ten te zong ji ma se ta ngarang sun zhong ka ju gi tina ji tumu mai be che chu tam chu gong ba ji be gi jong ro ti indu zane jang kon chu ren ne tanda de tam chu gong ji gi ngone gong ji gi zawa ngoma de ta tangbu jing ha shiram jong ne gi chiglu rang gi ton ma ti nang je wa de ji do wa Di indu ta chi su tanda jawa kuncho rinne ke kudu la tani ngarang su tingsan lo de ya ke zawa tsikje yuwa de jawa kuncho rinne ke tsul tani tsikje su duri nang jawa tanda rwa ta te la sobe kandar chi ta ti ke tona ina re owa te na shin do yung gongchi ke tona ina re jidang ke tenpan tsi yung pesong ke tona ina re tani kongri rangi nyamlang ke tona ina re te na shin do kongri ki ji nuba ke tona ina ya pe samji mecha ba chunga ge ta lor ju thinde ji yong de yores o ti indu tenen thama tela ta khore thandan de gonglo peche tene thadan de chuchu renga be thola tene gomba nyangin de songa de ji de wa o tere ti indu ta ti jang kun chu re ne ge nam nam do den ro ji thinde ji che.
So mainly in the lineage holder of DRIKUNG Kagyu tradition, Gyalwa Koncho Ratna is considered as one of the great master who has vast activities in DRIKUNG Kagyu order. So earlier, before Gyalwa Koncho Ratna, the rules and regulations of Densa Thil was not so strong. But when he became the throne holder of the lineage, he met the dharma rules and regulation of Dansa Thil and Yangrigar very strict, and he worked for the flourishment of the dharma, and especially our unique teaching, which is a single intent. He worked for the flourishment of Gonchik, and as the Sherab Jungne wrote the sentence format of the Gonchik, but later on it was the Gyalwa Koncho Ratna who converted it into the stanza format, which we can study these days. And whether it comes to his dharma activities, whether it comes to the flourishment of single intention, whether it comes to his own practice, whether it comes to his realization, it is very vast and very profound. And he was a great master. And at the age of 65, he passed into Mahaparinirvana.
Oh yeah, tani tegi jela tan jong gi den rap ni sa sum tan dirwa khase kunting se nda kunting niba ta jawang kuncho ne gi kunting niba de tani jamgun thle sam burwa 디인도 되네 점군 틀레상부터 간단히 다 제로 직동 조장 앞중 가지고로라 드네 군통하다 근데 지레 조장 앞중 가지고로 군통하다 근데 지레 디인도 전에 드네 디 군통인도 전에 다 되게 큰가 건조를 나타 rinzin chudani ki pardu tan zhungi denrabde dungju ki tohne dine zen nang yorwa dungju ki tohne ta tene rinzin chudada kuncho rina niga kudu la zhungi dungju ki tene chigda jipan zenya te pa mewan zhoji chane ta tene ma zhugu ki lamlu ki tohne tene junzin tene chigi cha sonrwa te yindu zane tene jawa kuncho rina te gomba nyange len desembe ki jesu tene kunchen rinzin chudagi 따지 예식이 직외 토네 아니 정원 건초는한테 문제 난다와 다 정원 건초는 문제 난다는데 호텔라 되네 렌진 추다기 지 물람 딱제 된대야 낭요래 대나신도 하당 소마라 소백은 되나양 투다 된대야 낭요래 된 타마델라 공력이 즉 단항도 지 토네 는 종기 댄산에 페제다 타 릉부로 지레 나 타 릉부기 사자지라 되네 총도 여바 직전에 되네 군진은 출하기 차리 나와를 자wak하시지라 다디 전화도 제쇼 롱반 된데지라 되네 침산 된데지기 낭도 야긴 세난 된데 생긴지 용긴 세난 된데 생긴지라 되네 정원 콘초를 나든 총도 여스 디인도 전에 디 제프지 데이터 나오는데 자 분석이 배 로직이 지금 됐어요. 하마들라 분쟁은 진 추락이 정말 난신기 드레드만데다 그 만나와지 문진 난 이제 중앙에 대인도서는 도문 문제 나다는데 추락 문제 나지 같은데 지래 아까 추락에 단단히 꾸꾸마 본초전에게 딱 금치 총아 들어와 근데 본초전에 Yes, the Zane, then the young city Latanda, Kunchon
So after the passing away of Koncho Ratna, the second incarnation of Koncho Ratna was Gyalwa Koncho Rinchen Tinle Zampo. So the Tinle Zampo was born in year 1656. And before Gyalwa Koncho Ratna and Rizin Chokitapa, the throne holder of DRIKUNG Kagyu lineage was holded by the family sort of tradition or descending tradition. But after Koncho Ratna and Rizin Chokitapa, the system of recognizing the Tulku tradition was flourished. So when Gyalwa Koncho Ratna was passed away, then done to make his reincarnation, Gyalwa Rizin Chogitapa saw in a dream, as well as he asked the local deities, and ultimately he perceived directly through his own eyes, and that there is a place which is quite far from DRIKUNG, and he made sort of later, and he gave to this attendants that go and search the incarnation of Gyalwa Koncho Ratna, and he will be in the letter it was written that he will be born in a place something like that, his parents will be something like that, and the monks attendants searched for the reincarnation for almost 1 year, and ultimately they found the unmistakable incarnation of Gyalwa Koncho Ratna.
근데 인도 되네 다단데 다 군촌 틀레 상부기 또 되네 토마를 센솔난 켄세브로 센솔난에 되네지다 정말 개념이 넘바 슈 나산도 오지나 군친은 주다래 다 대다 된 천백이 최소들 나창샘 상화선생 하게 넘발라서 받아 근데 망부지 군친은 취지탑을 군등의 센시 난 then zo lama cha yung are tin an shin do tene ta de kunchin ren zin chura ge loma chi tan da lon thle nam jer shya de wa lama lo chen kunchen tangbo tin de tene lon thle nam jer ge kun ne jang nin tan da kunchen thle sang bu ni ji wang long te meng ju sen shin tene te zam ju ma se be da tumo ring ne tan zo la ya tene ke ba de ba ti chi du zan ne kan da tene ul oda 휴고야 톱고야 차상 돈에더니 루반냠신낭 루반냠신낭 인도산에 예담게 라 칸진다지 루바이나야 tensoge tene ji sharziya dang yana ji ngusu yana ta dang yana milam la so ben nane ni tan sen de chungwe ju tende yong de yore tin de zane laman keru chimboji tene chung de ji re tene temba ji wang gin je jin do temba ji la song ta wa yin tene kunchon tile sambu kudula tan zhong la ta tedun ro jing na tengsan na shi chen ngang pe cha na zo log tone par ja ya tende yung yu marwa te yin du zane ta pe cha sama zhegu yu te chi du tene zhong la yi tengken gi yi ri tende pe ja ha sa tene ke tang ne tene sanji ge sung be ge ganjur ta pa zu po de pe chi ja de ni shu za ran chi tene shu munbo ge teng do tene sergi seri la tine tene jarwe kanju rumbo chi chasan jingbe ge lorju o tende do wa ta tende temba chila yang tene gatin chimo tende chi re o tin na jing do tene chi labar do ndong kanju ge tene temba la yin yang o ta nga chi sheba dang drube ta sheba saying do tene pe sheda ja timbo ta tende da nume ge kaju pa la yo mar mon te wa de druba nyang neng ge tola tene zo nang ge ro wa ni na ya ta chi kandar wang long te menga shungken ge loma kanda kam yu ba ta 탐체라 근데 지 왕long 튀기 좀 받게 돈이 나래 어때도 간들 시에바던 주베고네 되니 지 제베 템바 제당 라버도 되니 제원 종베게 템발라 양 제지 친부 인경게 어떤데 라마지 차용비요레 스탠드 컨트니바 컨트 틀레상 보세야다 공래.
So the second incarnation yelwa consortile zampo. So when he after getting the name, when he received the Pratimoksha vows initially from Riksin Chakitapa, and then he received the Vinaya vows, outer inner Vinaya vows, then inner Bodhisattva vows, and secret Vajrayana vows from Riksin Chokitapa, and received many teachings elves. Also, he received teachings from Lo Chinle Namgyal. He received empowerment, oral transmission, spirit instructions, and many more. And he, after receiving so many teachings, he also contemplated on them. He was also a great master in the Tibetan grammar as well. And after collecting all the knowledge, he then went for a great practice and performed a real meditations. And it is stated that whatever deity he practiced, he gets the result in a great way. Else he can either he can see the deity and through his own eyes, or he gets some positive clue of his realization of practicing that deity. And if we talk about his activities for the entire Buddha Dharma, it is stated that during that time he invited around hundreds of calligraphy writers to write the Kangyur, and he instructed them to write the Kangyur in with an golden color, and that is great activities for the flourishment of Buddha Dharma. And if towards the DRIKUNG Kagyu tradition, he mainly worked on the teachings part and as well as on realization part. Though the teachings part at that time it was not quite strong, but he transmitted whatever oral transmission that he has, and he transmitted to others, and therefore he is one of the great and profound master of DRIKUNG Kagyu lineage.
Tingi ta tanda kunchon tile sambo deochi nam tene zhong kaju ki nenab tanda de ta nishu zabshi pade chayong goro densa nish zabshi pade Kain sana tadandi tanji jawan koncho rena de tane denrap nishu tsani padre tane denrap nishu tsasum pade kunchen rinzin chuji chawa chayong gurwa kunchen rinzin chuji chawa ta tane jawan koncho rena pa gomba nyangelen dene tun chung yongken de tandandi konchon tile zangbo yindu zane tane konchon tile zangbo de tane zhongi denrap gomondo chiyendu zane denrap nishu tsabishi pade o tende chi chayong res te yindu zane ta tandandi 제가 공연 때문에 공로 다 죽주 나지 중에 때문에 공부 양년인 데서도 되는데 배치에 단단데 어나 제딱 공로 죽주 나지 주와래 대체도 전에 간다 좋은 게 되는 일지 봐대 장선 이용한테 지린도스.
So the Gyalwa Tinle example is the 24th throne holder of Jepon Kaikyu lineage. So because on the Gyalwa Gonchok Radna was in the 22nd throne holder of Jepon Kaikyu lineage, and the 23rd was Riksin Chokidapa. So when the Gyalwa Gonchok Radna passed away, then his incarnation, the Gyalwa Konchok Gyalwa Chinle Zampo was born, and he become 24th throne holder of Jepon Kaikyu lineage. And around 60s, within or 60s, he passed away into Mahaparinirvana, and he was the 24th throne holder of Jepon Kaikyu lineage.
다 되니 단단디 되게 지라 다 단다 군촌 틀레상 정부 군촌 틀레상 공반 양일래 내 철외기 지라 다 되니 숨바데 된다는 데로와 가세 오는서 단단디 군촌 댄진 정도 정부 군촌 댄진 정도 들에 뒤인디 전에 정부 군촌 단단디 댄진 정도 돼 온게 되는 24주보다 차인 거요래. 간이서나 다는데 콘리게 고고마 군청이고 군청 틀레서 모든 24주보다 차서 그냥 24장아 봐대 군청인진 추라기 드네 다단데 양세 단 틀레 돈줍 주자대 정부 총상 군청 이바로와 대인도 콩 되는 종게 되는 24장아 봐대래 근데 다단데 정군 최상 군청 틀레서 부기 양세 근데 다단데 control tenzin 정도로 돼 단종 그래서 예주바드는 장고요 에스텐도 내는 예주바데 당 야나지 내는 부터는 선을 당와이는 내는 예주바 근데 장군 그 군청이랑 부터는 선을 당와이는 근데 군청 숨바데 control tenzin 정도로
So after passing away of Konchok Tinle Zangpo, the third incarnation was born as Gyalwa Konchok Tenzin Drodul. So Gyalwa Konchok Tenzin Drodul was the 26th throne holder of Jepon Kaikyu lineage, because his previous incarnation, Gyalwa Konchok Tinle Zangpo, was the 24th throne holder of the Jepon Kaikyu lineage, and the 25th was the second reincarnation of Riksin Chokitapa, who was Tinle Tundup Chogyal. So the Konchok Tenzin Drodul was the 26th throne holder of Jepon Kaikyu lineage, and if we look at the incarnation, he is the third incarnation of His Holiness.
다 되네 정군 타는데 다 댄진 론돌인데 되는 디 고막 단지 틀레스 그다음에 정군 틀레스 장보대 제로 직동 둔자 좁제기 로라 파 공반이네 근데 뭐 어떻게 지래 디 인도 되네 되게 론이 제라 든다는데 정군 건조 댄진 론돌 원데 되는 손 총 인도 산에 인자 니슈글로 그냥 총재 같은 데지레스.
So the previous incarnation of Gyalwa Konchok Tenzin Drodul, it was Konchok Tenzin Konchok Tinle Zampo. So Konchok Tinle Zampo passed away in year 1718. So after the 2 years, Gyalwa Konchok Tenzin Drodul was born, which is in year 1720.
다티 인도 군조 땡진 론도랑 말해 단다 공다테 노래 가인사나 단단디 점군 드네 딱 온디로 와카세 틀레장보 파내 차도 전에 양자 로니긴 제라 양시진 총도 디 양시데 총와 이나양 드네 아직 지나게 땡진 담은데기 왕기 드네 춘춘 가서는 총외기 제네 두수연은 뭐 망고로와 반대송아래 팀도 전에 맥세게 지 양시 제 죽은 천도연 제 텐데시는 내람 제야라서 같은데 그 고갑대 마종아래 된 대반 대송도 전에 다 대기 제라 네 패체 단단데 디차송아래 갈세 로 단지 로진 근데 로 니기지라 총송아 이내 니기지는 총송아 대기 지 꽃에 맞네 드네 춘춘 가서네 대송아 인도잖아 드네 바지베기 로 패체 단단데 주기지라 드네 이내 단단다 총용 말에 텔레트네 단데 건초 땡진 정도를 선호다 단대신에 자용하는도 대인도 대 건초 땡진 정도를 대 나다 군촌 틀레상부가 다 양세 인생은 무수 조금 문제지야 중화 인도 전에 定 문제 난캔데 드네 정군 총상 군청 이바 단단데다 이제 전주 주기 제보 공기 드네 단데다 문제 나와 드네지 차용하래스
So here we met little mistakes, so pardon us. So it is stated that after passing away of Chinle Zampo, after 2 years of that, he was born as an incarnation, but unfortunately, due to the unauspicious circumstances, his incarnation died very early. Even he didn't get time to recognize him as a Tulku. So he died a bit early. And after passing away of that little boy, after the 6 years, he was again born. So that's the third incarnation, which is the Koncho Tenzin Drodol. And that Koncho Tenzin Drodol was recognized as a Tulku or as a manifestation, as an incarnation of Koncho Tinle Zampo by the second incarnation of President Chogitapa, who was Tinle Tundup Chogyal.
대인도 드네 제 던줍 주제기 따진 흠에게 qabla 드네 라만 남베게 양식 문제 나도 전에 드네 조 소속에 따지 이식이 즈베톤에 드네 타 제용 드네 지르와 대인도 드네 제 던줍 주제기 따점군 틀레상부기 양식 드네진 총유스 대전술 제가라 양 단지 흠만 나신 전에 드네 메카시 땅 나와래 메카시 땅 용도 전에 다 사자 텐데 지라 부구 텐데 지유 드네 대 단단데 공만 틀레상부게 되는 양세 텐데지 인스 다 잠고 던져 주제 대송 단이 단단데 꼭 공만 틀레상부게 팅마단 근데 꼭 공만 틀레상부게 풀바지 유사래 다 던져 제대 꿀네 단 흠에게 되는지 두글 양세 문제 치료산에 당분데 레선에 지다 폐체 송완 나신 유나야 다동구도 딱지 심주 지기도 흠에 로술 텐데 여러와 이 유도 전에 되네 흠만 라우니 그리어다 메튼적인 정말 라우니 푸르반 라우니 꿀네 다 단지인데 던접 주제기 이식이 즈베 돈에 하제 나와게 되는 부 딘되나 되니 다단데 심제주 징게도 손에 딱 control 가동 양문에지 고만 틀레상부의 양신 추저리 임방 니시 양타와지 제약의 체도 아니 정말 인주 찍바 임발라 파다도 찍대 꼭 고만 틀레상부의 창정제 찍대야 현당 정말 대나신도 프르바양 프르바직 틀레상부 프르바 현다지 다 현게 프르바전에 던데기 프르바다 한틈마든서 부 춘총 인도는 샤운데 전에 근데 고만 틀레상부기 프르바다 틀레상부긴 틈마든 창정도 상황에 다 던데 용도 전에 근데 뭐 탐제겠다 뭐네 지 고만 틀레상부기 양신 추드린 거니 네네 드는 종 된사가 된 상황에 다 로디 용도가 어떤데지 yes
So the Chinle Tunduk Chogyal recognized Concho Tenzin Dodol as a reincarnation. So during that time, the system of recognizing the Tulku was that the master sees through their wisdom quality. So Tunduk Chogyal perceived through his wisdom quality, and he wrote a statement like earlier and gave it to his attendants, in which it was mentioned that the incarnation of Concho Tenzin Dodol is born in that region, in that house, to that parents, and so on. So, and with accordance with that letter, his attendants went to search for the Tulku, and with in their hand they were carrying two Vajra purpa and two beads. Earlier, though the Tulku can easily recognize through the wisdom quality of a master, but still to make the authentic and to find the unmistakable incarnation, they perform such activities. So they carry these beads and purpa, Vajra Kilaya, and so the one bead was belongs to the previous previous master, which was Chinle Zampo, and one bead was of another person. And similarly, the one purpa was of Chinle Zampo, and one purpa was of another person. But both the beads and both the purpas look very similar. So they went to search for the child, and they reached in front of a child, and they showed this stuffs to the kids, and that that kids took the stuffs, the beads and the purfa that belongs to Chinle Zampo, and all the people get overjoyed, and the guy, the student baby, was considered as the reincarnation of Concho Chinle Zampo, and he was welcomed to the Dansa Tilfor in the enthronement ceremony.
다들 다단디 전주 취재 정부 전주 취재 그 군도네 드네 주부이시야이나레 디난신도 드네 소터게 domba 창승그 domba 상하그 domba라서 탐체대 예난 근데 대성제 마체 질 다단디다 거주백이 드네 왕롱티맹아 바브로도 드네 종 거주기 다지 왕롱티맹아 용수 저거 센시 난네 드네지 꾸치 유는 뭐시라 주요 말 공무집 시험마도 주요 말에 대인들 간다지 지난 게 댄저인데 뭐지 그소 원게 공로 충충 것은 대송아래 얘네야 드네 공다지 공로 매세그로 공로 지지 시험 주베게 랭게 꾸치 매너라 망체와도 군섬 코나를 주네 드네 공로 지지 시험부터 또 드네 공만양에 대송하다 드네지레 대인다 노빈도지 드네지체
So, KYABGON Concho Tenzin Dodol receive all the beginning formalities such as cutting hairs, pratimoksha vows, vinayas, bodhicitta, and vajrayana vows from Tunduk Chogyal, and also he received special kagyupas, empowerments, oral transmission, prit instruction, and especially the Digung Kagyu empowerment, oral transmission, prit instructions. He receives all those teachings from Tunduk Chogyal, but he didn't had a quite long life, and he passed away at the age of 43 due to the some unfortunate unauspiciousness circumstances. He passed away at the age of 43. But before passing away, in his latter part of his life, he mostly spent all his latter part of life in practicing in meditation, and it is the short biography of this Concho Tenzin Dodol.
다데 군초 땡진 런들데 단신 종 대나고 원도 체인데 저는 단 니슈 자주버디 차용거와 어떤데 지래 다트네 디오기 되는 니슈 잡든 바데 양 정군 충상게 아트네 군탱 어떤데 차용으로와 땡드 땡진 추기니 마스 쉬어다 콩 today, teaching the Zane, Tadandi Da, Jungun, Chugin Megi, Denham is something but Tegi, telling Munzin Javata, Tandandi, Jungun, Tadandi Kukuma. Kunting Sumbegi tene yang si tela, Tangarang so tene Jangun Peme Jansen in Denrap, going to change the subject padre, or Tini Tadan the Kunting want to change to Tini Jango Kunting, Ishiba the Chang, will what and do, then the Peme Jansen Shuyata Tere, they do Tini Tunglu Doji Chevaina, Chilu Chidong Dunja, Dunju Tambe Lola, Tini Tungja, what the Chile.
So the Holiness Koncho Tenzin Drodul was the 26th throne holder of the Gyaltsen lineage, and the 27th throne holder of the Gyaltsen lineage was the incarnation of His Holiness Chungtsang Rinpoche, and his name was Tenzin Chukyi Nyingma, and His Holiness Tenzin Chukyi Nyingma Rinpoche recognized the fourth incarnation of Chetsang Rinpoche, who was His Holiness Peme Gyaltsen. And His Holiness Peme Gyaltsen was the 28th throne holder of the Gyaltsen lineage, and he was born in 1770.
Tani Tadandi Tanda Dirida Iluchidong Dunja Tambeg Lola Tungne Tene Gunlu Tu Malhibki Pardu Mixegetani Tugum Zindo Tendeke Namundua. Tak Tandandi Kong Gunlu Tula Pepe Gavla Tenin Jugung Netandandi Jangun Chungsang Chuginimegi Daji Yishigi Zibetone Tajenang. Tani yishigi zibetone ta jejawa tega nanshin jene tani zhung tigi tanda nga zoda sekang chuje sene joban jeten sungu gu wata ti chungla tani daji sende yung nangda wa daji yung ne tani jik daji gi nangla pawaya tang jamgun tani chugi nimegi yishigi zibetone tuta jejawa nipo di jingtung chung du zane tani gong chubhe tola tan zhung tani tani jamgun chesang kuncheng yibegi tani yangsi la tani ngunzi nangja wada tani jik res.
So after born in year 1770, His Holiness Padme Gyaltsen was didn't recognized as the reincarnation until he reached to the age 6. So when he get to age 6, by the wisdom eye or wisdom quality of His Holiness Tenzin Chukyi Nyingma, he was recognized as the incarnation of previous Koncho Tenzin Drodul. And within the front of Golden Lord statue of at Deguntil, and they performed prophecy activities, and within that it comes that he is the unmistakable incarnation of previous Chesang Rinpoche, who was Koncho Tenzin Drodul.
Oda tene wadandi danzhung jamgu kunting jibe jamgu chesang kunting jibe ki angsi la munjin dangdani chendun oda tanzo chesang chene ten tandandi da jamgu chuji nime kundun ne tene jing zhunggi wang long chi menga da jeba labordo tene tandandi gyalhong domba tene jamgu chuji nime kundun jibe de shiwa zamji ma se tene pen dunzin chenbo chen kandaraji jamgu peme jansengi kundunne pe pa getsulong domba nangja teyan pe mambu tende chongdawa teyin zane tamchun durwe tembala yang pe masibe kar chenbo oda tende chigre tene tanande da jamgu peme jansengi zo lamanda jamgu chujini ma che tene tananga rangchu nganju nyingmegi kunchin jingmi lingbala yang tene ten na wa da tende chene kandarji kedrupji ching mambu jige shabla 동네더니 원홍팀맹아 용수도가 센시당 대신도 금룹 탈침만 나와다 드래기 로주에 되거든요.
So ultimately he was recognized as the fourth reincarnation of Chetsang Rinpoche. Then His Holiness Peme Gyaltsen was enthroned, and he received all the teachings from the, especially all the vows and teachings from His Holiness Tinley His Holiness Nyingma. Especially, he received the Bhikkhu vows from His Holiness Nyingma, and he especially practiced the Vinaya path very strongly. And it is said that from His Holiness Gyaltsen, there are many monks who received the Vinaya vows, and he was especially grateful for the Vinaya teachings. And his main teacher was His Holiness Nyingma, and apart from that, he relied on Nyingma Master Khenchen Lingpa and many more masters, and he received many teachings from many masters, and he got ultimate realization in his practice as well.
Tenen di ta jamgun peme jansen khone ge kutse ge nangla ten tanji shiba nanshin temba la pe zeji lapoche nawale tinan labar don ro kajun ro jim tsumba ina ta ting hnu la jedan ro kaju gi choga chalen ge ramba mambu yor de labar do peme jansen kudu lan ro ge da ji choge gi tene sol de pe shukchen boji darje nawar wa tin de sane choga chalen ge thola yang tene pen zeji lap chimbo tendere 네 사버도 하는데 나 저거 산지게 땜바 대 셰바단 저바 티니게 나네 가지고다 지는 저바 냠랭게 돌로 좋은 저거와 인도잖아요. 근데 점고 빼매 전생의 구두가양 저원라더니 운동 난ken기 되니지 다 됐던도 양배 야제 슈 첨부 중앙에 로주 텐데 여대봐. 어디 테인도 다 콩양 근데 꾸치시다 유는 뭐 마주고 인도 고농 납중 납된 거 토라 근데 뭐만양했는데 소한테 지레스
공로가서 손 괜찮아 공방엔
납중 납된 거 토라.
So His Holiness Peme Gyaltsen has in his entire life he benefits and he worked for the welfare of Dharma at vast extent, and especially in DRIKUNG tradition his activities were especially focused on the flourishment of rituals in DRIKUNG tradition. Though earlier there was a ritual practice of in DRIKUNG tradition, but after him, the flourishment of rituals practices was increased at vast level, and though the Buddha teachings can be classified in teachings tradition and the realization tradition, and within these two, the Kagyu tradition mainly focus on the realization tradition. So during his time, the practitioners or retreatants were flourished at a vast level, and overall he worked greatly for the beneficial of Dharma at a vast extent, and he also didn't live quite a long life, and he passed away at the age of 57.
다티 인도 테네 점고 빼매 jansen데 테네 종게 다 대납 subject 바데로와 다 테네 딥 바르데나 다 점고 빼매 jansen데 공부 냥이라 판데네 테네 대기 양시 세고나다 다티 테네 다 줄고 종 점고 단단데 투지니만 권총으로 점고 투지니만 다 점고 투지니만데 종 점고 테네 권총 나바티 차인 거로 최상권을 나바데 대제인도 전에 다 투지님마당 빼매 jansen 얘기 발라 되네 정군 총상의 군청이 중앙에 가에서나 정군 총상 되네 되는데 취지 jansen당 정군 총상 주님으로 대인도 코너바니보데 공로 투수 통통 모두 마주고 인도 전에 대 파르테나 되네 정군 총상의 군청이 중앙에 대인도 전에 다단데 빼매 jansen데 되는 subject 받듯이 되네 정군 총상 주기 jansen데 되는 subject 받지 되네 정군 다단데 주님 노르때 총상 주님 노르때 숨지 탐바듯이 다 숨주 소직 받에 되네 정군 투지님아 세다 정군 정군 최상 되네 군청 나바데 차요 요레스
KYABGON 중인 얼굴이 숨주 바제라
레라
맞아라
주님
아테니
군청으로 갈라
라로 투쟁님아디
투지님한테 숨소지 다 투지님한테 전화를 다 정부 최상 그 군청 나바들어와
So after passing away of His Holiness Pemi Gyaltsen. His reincarnation was His Holiness Tukje Nyingma, who was the fifth incarnation of Chetsang Rinpoche. So between these two, I mean, His Holiness Pema Gyaltsen and His Holiness Tukje Nyingma, there was two incarnation of His Holiness Chungtsang Rinpoche. The one was His Holiness Choki Gyaltsen, and one was His Holiness Chungi Nurpo. So these two didn't live a long life, therefore they passed away a bit early. So therefore His Holiness Chugi Gyaltsen was the 27th throne holder, and His Holiness and the Chungi Nurpo was the 30th throne holder, and His Holiness the Tukje Nyingma was the 31st throne holder.
다 되네 정부 투지님한테 되네 딱 군총 간다진 종기 되네 대납 소지과대 이갑 되는 지당 벽이 난게 공기 꾸들라 지당 벽 우장게 초라 대해서 접시기 돈에 뭐가 정보 유역감으로 지래 되게 잼배거네 근데 콩나야다 배군에 어제 슈 친분 태외기 로주텐데 요래 되네 야때 지 줄르르 고양모로 차용 가서네 되네 안진종 가지고 땜발라야 제지 친부 장에 기타 로주텐데 용되게 요리 티치도 자네 되네 단단데 공야 되네 딱 너나 단단 데려와 가세 제다 저공게 되네 다직 대럽 좀 전화 신체네 되네 종 가주기 왕당 롱당 이데 맹아 대나진도 되네 지다 제버도 되네 자자 첨부 나된당 대신도 탐론 하루 주루라서 와다 된제기 원홍택이 냠시 배 다르침바 어떤데 나와다 근데 유den게 지래 이 공부 꾸두텔라 되네 양지 데스 지난 게 잼배 제야만 못해 되거다 되게로 주용되게 요래
지난기 갈수나 담아들라
다치기 고류기 나로당 나로기 양진종 나로기 내당을 때네 근데 콩을 떼서 없지 뭐 못해도와 배치 좀 주배 요래
알았어. So His Holiness Tukje Nyingma was born, and he was enthroned as the 31st throne holder of DRIKUNG lineage. It was in the Utsang region during that time where the political issues were flourished at a worst extent, and due to that he faced many hardships in his life. And when the political aspect becomes a little bit neutral, and at that time he worked for the welfare of DRIKUNG lineage at vast extents, whether it comes to the empowerment, oral transmissions, with instructions, and especially the fivefold practice of Mahamudra, 6 yogas of Mahamudra. So he got the entire knowledge and realization of all this teaching, but due to some external and internal unauspicious and unfortunate circumstances, he faced many difficulties.
다 배치 체계 특히 로유설에 시다시단 삼성 가루도 된 배치 드린 거 하나 네 다산이 정군 시벨로 된 다른 거 정군 는 돌든도 산이보다 쉬잖아.
That's okay, so we will keep it here today, as my internet is not working well, and so we will continue tomorrow. That's
sonamde tamche zebani dhone
Ona nyebe dana banje de gegana che balonda bai sibe
andro jo lama gungam zamwara surwa Jodo Guze Ringwara Surwa, the Entile Darjin Jebra Surwa, Namadhan Darwa, Mebra Chenje, Lo, Jambra Bawe, Chedran Chembadan, Gundo Zambo, Tiandi, Yada Gunje Jesu and Alu, Jergewa, the Dodamje, Rabdum, Ho, Sanje Guzum, Neve, Chenlavdan, Jurut, Ginde mechen dembe chen lamje chedrang hujen malan dober jo dada konde tham je je du zum do sap yube ge da wan de dada simjen tam je nyur do lanam yang da bra zo be chan tu rum bo je do bar jur je she ja gun ze gun jen chu je 念之内老万图文这公把人间不解定把身的协助对什公本等于这长久生就人不这马这记住这把娘把没把样空的公顿陪我说。
May the teachings of the great Digungpa Ratna Shri, masters of interdependence, omniscient Lord of Dharma, who has seen all knowable things, be upheld until the end of cyclic existence through study, practice, hearing, contemplation, and meditation. May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increasing higher and higher. Thank you.
That's all.
That's
Okay.
all.
See you tomorrow.
Yes. See you tomorrow. Good night.